1.6 Part 1 notes. As we finish these up, remember, this is Algebra 1 review at this point, okay? I'm reteaching it, but this is review. And just for a brief recap, on Friday, we start off solving systems of equations by graphing, right? So systems of equations by graphing, you were expected to graph the two lines and look for where they intersect, yes? Okay, and then after we did that, we practiced using substitution. With substitution, you needed to have one of your two equations that were either x equals or y equals, and then we'd take that and we'd sub it into the other equation, right? So those were the 4 examples we did there. And now we're ready for elimination, okay? This is our third method to review. And it's just another way to solve the same type of equations. Here, our goal is to eliminate one of the variables, okay? As we look at our first example, 4x plus 2y equals 9, negative 4x plus 3y equals 6. Which variable does it look like we should eliminate? Which one's going to go away the easiest? X's. And why would you think that? Yeah. They have not only the same number in terms of they both have coefficients of 4, so they're both 4x's, but on top of it, even better is that one's positive and one's negative. So I'm always trying to get us in a situation with elimination where one of my variables, either x or y, has the same coefficients, so the same numbers in front of it. Even better is when they are opposite signs. So in this case, we're set up to eliminate the x's, because there's a positive 4x and a negative 4x. So since they are opposite signs, that means I am set up to add these two equations together. So you always want to have like terms lined up, and we're just going to add. What is 4x plus negative 4x? 0x, that cancels, which is what I want. What is 2y plus 3y? 5y. Carry your equal sign down. And what is 9 plus 16? 25. So now I have the statement 5y equals 25. What do? Yeah. If it's 5 times y equals 25, we're going to divide by 5. And then you're going to have 5y divided by 5 is y. 25 divided by 5 is 5. So we know y equals 5. Am I done? No. What kind of answers did we want in all the other pieces? Ordered pairs, yes? X, Y. I have y. I don't have x yet. Thoughts of how we're going to get x? Okay. So we're going to take this y equals 5, and we're going to plug it back in which equation? Okay, whichever one looks better to you, right? Okay, you're going to pick an equation. You're going to plug that y value in. So, which one do you guys want me to pick? The top? The one that doesn't have a negative? Is that where I'm going with this? Okay. So, 4x plus 2, what are we doing? Y, and y is 5, equals 9. Do some math. 2 times 5 is 10. So 4x plus 10 equals 9. 4x plus 10, what do I want to do? Subtract 10. And then I have 4x equals negative 1. If it's 4x equals negative 1, what's our final step to solving? If it's 4 times x, we're going to divide by 4. And what is x? Okay. Negative 1 divided by 4 is negative 1/4. I'm going to leave it as that. What's my final answer? Okay, negative 1/4, comma 5 in our typical XY ordered pair. Okay. Does that sound a little familiar? Okay, that's the easy version, right? We always got to start with the easy version. Okay, second example. Negative 2x plus 8y equals negative 8. Negative 5x plus 8y equals negative 20. What are your thoughts here? What do you notice?
There's the same coefficient of the y.
Okay, so they're both 8y's, so we're going to probably want to eliminate the y's, yes? What's the catch?
Same sign.
They have the same sign, yes? So earlier, there's two different ways we can proceed. Earlier, though, I wanted them to have opposite signs, didn't I? I wanted to have opposite signs so I could add and I could keep my math easy. How could I make these opposite signs?
Subtract.
Okay, so one option, could we just flat out subtract? Top minus bottom. We could. Now, I'll be honest, that's not the way I usually teach it, just because we tend to get into some more careless mistakes that way. Michaela? Okay. I was going to say bottom, but you can multiply one of them by negative 1. Okay, so it's your choice. I've had people that have strong opinions one way or the other here, but I need these 8y's to be opposite somehow. One option is you can just subtract. Now, keep in mind, if you subtract top row minus bottom row, that's fine, but you're going to be doing negative 2 minus negative 5 and negative 8 minus negative 20. As long as you do that, you're good. My suggestion or my preference, and this is just because I'm teaching lots of kids, okay? What I think works a little bit better is if we pick one of them, doesn't matter which, I tend to go for the bottom one and multiply by negative 1. If we do this way, the top one I'm just going to rewrite. Negative 2x plus 8y equals negative 8. Did not change anything. The bottom equation, if I'm multiplying by a negative, it's going to change every sign, yes? So negative 5x becomes positive 5x, plus 8y becomes minus 8y, and negative 20 becomes positive 20. And now the idea, my 8y's have opposite signs, yes? So I'm ready to add my two equations together. Okay, so this is how you'll see me do it. If you just skip this and just subtract, I'm okay with that, just as long as you're confident with what you're doing. So, negative 2x plus 5x is 3x. Are you multiplying on me?
I'm so tired. Yes, I did.
8y plus negative 8y? 0. That cancels. Carry down my equals. Negative 8 plus 20. 12. Now, if anyone subtracted, did you get the same thing? You should have. Okay? If it's 3x equals 12, what do I do? Divide by 3. And x is going to be 4. Okay, am I done? No. Now what? Okay, how do we want to find y? Okay, take this 4 and plug it into whichever equation makes your heart happier. Okay, your choice. I'm going to, you guys are going to tell me to pick the top one, yes? I'll go with it. So if I pick the top one, it's negative 2x. What's x?
4.
4. Plus 8y equals negative 8. Negative 2 times 4 is negative 8 plus 8y equals negative 8. To get y by itself, I'm going to move the negative 8. I'm going to add 8. Negative 8 plus 8 cancels. 8y Negative 8 plus 8 over here.
0.
Cancels or it's 0. Final step. If it's 8 times y, what do I do to solve?
Right.
Divide by 8 officially. And the math we're doing, 8 divided by 8 is 1y. 0 divided by 8. 0 divided by anything. 0. Is 0 an answer?
Yeah.
Yes. 0 is a number. 0 is an answer. Okay, just be aware. What kind of answer did I get?
4, 0.
Ordered pair, 4, 0. Okay? Just like substitution, there's some flexibility with elimination. We're not going to always do this exactly the same way, but I do have the way I'm going to teach it just to be consistent. Okay, questions on that one? Okay, well, we haven't learned, like everything we do, each problem is a step up, right? So, or a different step at least. Next example. 2x plus 7y equals 4. 3x plus 5y equals negative 5. What are you noticing?
None of the thingies.
None of the thingies match. So I think what she's trying to say is none of the coefficients match, right? You know, last time they weren't opposite signs, but at least we had 8 y's, right? The first time even better, we had 4x and negative 4x. Thought, Thomas?
Is this way if they like the common multiple or something? So we'll multiply the top sentence or the top equation by 3 and the bottom by 2.
That would be an option. What would multiplying the top by 3 and the bottom by 2 help me achieve?
We'd get
Same
6x.
We'd have 6 x's, yes? Now, if we're going to do it my way, besides just multiplying by 3 and 2 and getting both of them to be 6,
Can we do a negative?
I'm going to pick one of them to be negative. I don't know why I tend to do the bottom one as the negative. Don't ask me, I just do. Okay. The other option besides 6 x's, we could get the y's the same. What would the y's become if they became the same? 35 y's. And honestly, it's not like it'd be that much worse. But I will go 6 x's. But again, there's options, right? So, in order to make this 6x stuff happen, I'm going to multiply the top equation by 3. And I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by 2, but not just 2, by negative 2. And that will allow me to get a positive 6x and a negative 6x. What does my top equation read after I multiply by 3? $21y equals 12. Okay. Bottom equation, multiplying by negative 2. Negative 6x minus 10y equals positive 10. And what do we notice about those x's now? They have opposite signs, right? Opposite signs are going to tell me to add those two equations to get them to cancel out. They're the same signs, we'd have to subtract. So 6x plus negative 6x. 0. 21y plus negative 10y. 11y. Carry down your equal sign. 12 plus 10. 22. If 11y equals 22, what are we doing? Divide by 11, and what is y? Y is 2. Am I done? No. Pick an equation. Which equation are you plugging back into?
Top one.
The top one. Only because it doesn't have negatives right now. When we say the top one, I'm using 2x plus 7y to plug in. So 2x plus 7 times 2 equals 4. I would always go back to one of the original equations. However, Am I saying you couldn't use one of the multiplied equations? You could. I had someone this morning, they used it and they were all scared that it wasn't going to work out, but it did. So any of these equations will work. Okay, what happened here? 2x plus 14 equals 4. If it's 2x plus 14, you're going to subtract 14. 2x equals negative 10, because 4 minus 14. And now I'm going to divide by 2, and x is negative 5. Final answer of ordered pair, xy combo, negative 5, 2. Okay. Next example. 3x plus 7y equals 15. 5x plus 2y equals negative 4. Same issue, right? What are options here? Ian? Okay, it says multiply by 5 and negative 3, and that will make us have our 15x's, right? What's the other option?
7, negative 2.
Okay, 7 and negative 2 to give us our 14y's. Now, they're about the same here, aren't they? 15 versus 14, not a lot of difference. Only because on the last one I just eliminated x's. I'm going to eliminate y's on this one. Now, if you're confident enough, could you go the other way and meet me in the end? You could, just don't make mistakes, right? So I'm going to eliminate y's this time. As I said, no other reason other than just to be different. Okay? So if I'm eliminating y's, I'm multiplying my top equation by 2 and my bottom equation by negative 7. So bottom equation, when multiplied by 2, becomes 6x plus 14y equals 30. Bottom equation, when multiplied by negative 7, negative 35x minus 14y equals positive 28. Is anyone going along with me for the ride? Some of you are. Okay. My 14y's. I have a positive and negative 14y, opposite sign. So I am ready to add my two equations together. 6x plus negative 35x. Negative 29x. 14y plus negative 14y. Cancels. That's 0. Equals 30 plus 28. 58. If it's negative 29 times x equals 58, how are we solving? Yep, divide by negative 29. What is 58 divided by negative 29?
Negative 2.
Negative 2. Then, what would you like to do? Take negative 2 and plug it into an equation somewhere. Have I used the bottom yet? I think I'm just going to be all kinds of different here and use the bottom too. Again, doesn't matter though. I'm not saying you have to, okay? It's whichever one looks better to you. So 5x, 5 times negative 2 plus 2y equals negative 4. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10 plus 2y equals negative 4. To solve for 2y, what are we going to do? Add 10. So 2y equals negative 4 plus 10 is 6. If it's 2y, we're going to divide by 2, and y is 3. Final answer of
-2, 3.
-2, 3. Did yours work out to match mine? Okay. And that's the idea. It doesn't matter whether you went 15 x's, 14 y's, top equation was negative, bottom equation was negative, neither equation was negative, and you just subtracted. It doesn't matter at the end where you plug into. It's all a matter of just don't make mistakes. Okay? Now, one last example to finish this off with. What do you want to eliminate? Yes, that's not exactly an answer. Addie?
Is it 0, 0?
I don't know. Okay, so here's the deal. You guys are stuttering on this question because it it doesn't matter. Could we eliminate x's right here? Yeah, there's -3, +3x, so that sets us up to add our equations together, right? Or, if you prefer, we could cancel y's. They're already set up with positive y and negative y, so it's just then add them together. So any way you go about it, you are adding your equations together. Okay, let's do this. See what happens. -3x plus 3x, 0. Y plus negative y, 0. So on the left side, what do I have? 0. Carry down the equal sign. On the right, -5 plus 5.
0.
0. Now, you guys are laughing at me and like, oh my gosh, you really made us work this out? Yes, because we didn't talk about what the answer is here. What happened to my variables?
They all cancel.
They all canceled. Now, we talked the other day, we talked on Friday, when your variables cancel out, there's 2 options. What do you know about 0 equals 0? That is a true statement, yes? Because my variables canceled out and I got a true statement, what's my solution? Okay, all of them? Okay, I have written in my notes infinitely many solutions. I think you'll see something along those lines. What if it was 0 equals 10?
No solution.
Then it's no solution. We talked about that on Friday, right? But because this is a true statement, infinitely many solutions. Maybe you would see, I don't think you'd see all real numbers, but there's just an unlimited, you can't really, yeah. Infinitely many solutions is what you'd see. Okay, got it? Okay, you guys have some work time. I'm also going to give you a chance to look at your quizzes and a couple other things, but you have some work time.